Hi everyone, it's Barbara Hayward here from the Old Girl Spiritual Stuff, and welcome back. This is part one of the deliberate manifestation, the law of attraction deliberate manifestation. Before we go any further, of course, we've got housekeeping. I need to say this is for entertainment purposes only. This is my understanding, my awareness, my learnings, my teachings, and my philosophy, and what I know to be true for me, and hope you can get something or a lot out of it. The second piece of housework, as you probably know by now, is subscribe, like, and comment. The more likes, the more subscriptions, the larger amount of audience that we can reach and match out to is so important for not just this channel for growing, but for people to get this down to earth, very practical, very urban knowledge that I share, and in the way that I share it. The other thing that I've learned recently is that if you could manage to watch a lot more of the actual video, the duration of time of watching, of viewing, is really important to the analytics of whether YouTube will get me out there more and where they put me, so others can find this information and this knowledge. I would appreciate that. As you know, in the first video of this part series, I gave you an overview or an introduction to the law of attraction, deliberate manifestation, and I gave you the 8 steps that are needed to work on this in a very practical way. These videos won't be long. They hopefully will be 5 to 7 minutes, and they will give you a practical journey into each of the steps. So the first step that we have is ask. Ask and you shall receive. So what is it that we ask? How do we ask, and why do we ask? Well, a lot of this, in my understanding, is when I go into Christ consciousness awareness into that, we don't have to ask, but we are mere human beings, and the asking is part of the ritual of the manifestation process. Now, it's really important that you be as specific as you can. Now, if you wanted a car, if you're manifesting a car, then if you know the make, the brand, the year, the color on the outside, color of the seats, that sort of thing, that's great. Absolutely perfect. If you don't, and you want, let's say, a new job, but you know the characteristics in that job. So maybe a job that gives you fulfillment, challenges your mind, gives you great social connections through the workplace, has easy hours. That's very specific. Now, you might not know that you want to, it's with ABC Wiglet firm. And so there are the different ways of doing it. If you're looking for a relationship, and you then go into the characteristics of what that person has within them. Now, I've got a really good affirmation on relationships, I can tell you, because it's the one that I used to meet my husband. 34 years ago, I used that one. He's still in my life. Okay, so what do you want? Well, I'm going to use a few things as examples, but the most recent one that I used was the Old Girls Spiritual Stuff Facebook page and this. How did it come about? How did I manifest it? And where is it today? And it's only been a 6-month journey. Now, this one came a little bit quicker, but I don't know the outcome of where it will go. So I wonder if this is the right example. May not even be the right example. But what I finished off in my introduction is, when you know the why, the how will take care of itself. So before we ask, let's find out the why we're asking. What is it that you want? Now, is it more money? And why do you need that? Is it a relationship? Why do you need that? Is it better health? Why do you need that? Now, the answers might be like, you've got to be kidding me, Barb. Isn't it obvious why I need it? Well, it might be obvious, but you need to state it as well, because you can't get, we can't assume that the universal energy, God, whatever, is going to read our mind. Mind you, it can, but it's, our mind is all over the place with this. You know, I want somebody tall, I want somebody short, it's like when you're very specific, but when you know why. So why do I want a relationship? Why did I want a relationship? Well, I wanted one because I wanted a companion. I have been on my own for 8 years, raising the 2 boys, and I wanted a dog company. I wanted an intimate relationship with someone on a constant level in a relationship, and not as meeting people. Why did I want one? I wanted one so that I could share my day-to-day experiences, and I could hear about their day-to-day experiences. Why did I want one? I wanted a relationship so that I could have somebody to help me in the good times, the hard times, the bad and the sad and the mad and the glad times. And so another reason, why did I want one? I wanted one. The boys, my sons had a very good father and a very good role model. And I would have liked them to have a role model of a different male in their life as well. So what do you want? And that's the first, and it sounds like the most obvious question of anything, and it really is the most obvious question. But most of us don't know what it is that we want. We know what it's going to make us feel like, and we visualize it, but we can't see it specifically. Now, one of the things that I've been able to manifest in my life twice, many things, many times, but and this might be a better example right here, right today. So maybe I'll use different examples through the different videos. I love Audi convertibles. I absolutely love Audi convertibles. 32 years ago, I really wanted ZX, I think it was a Nissan two-door car. And beyond that, the only other car I've ever really wanted is an Audi convertible. And so why do I want that? Well, because it'll make me look sassy was one of the reasons. I just love the fact that you can take the hood down and go out in summer and just enjoy everything. I love the feel of the seats, and I love the feel of the car, the Audi car. So why else did I want it? Well, you know, a little bit of me wanted to be a little bit like, status, let's face it. If I can't be honest to me, who can I be honest to? Now, was that a primary reason? No. But I do like Audis. I believe in Audis. I believe in the trustworthiness of Audis. I've had some really, really harsh experiences with cars, and not good ones. And so I'm very specific about the motor, the working of the motor, and the safety factors and the whole thing. And the Audi car gives me a big part between the seat and the back of the car if I've hit. There's a lot of smaller reasons, but I just love Audis and convertibles. No other Audis, just convertible. So how did I go about asking for this? Well, I didn't know the year I wanted. To me, the year doesn't matter so much. The color to me didn't matter so much. But I wanted a comfortable Audi that is secure and safe. I wanted an Audi that was going to be reliable, dependable. And because I married a mechanic, things were a lot cheaper than the average Joe Blow. And so I wanted the Audi to be able to be serviced and maintained by my husband in a very user-friendly way. So I know specifically what I want. I want a safe, reliable, good mechanical, well-presented Audi convertible. Now, because I wasn't very it didn't matter the colours and that. For me, I didn't add in colours, but you may, if you're after a car, you may go into the detail of the colour. For me, the year wasn't important, so I didn't place that, but it may be important to you. It may be a house that you don't want a house that is more than, let's say, 5 years old, or you might want a house that was built in the 50s, 60s. Be very specific if you know those details and if they're important to you, because if they're important, then you need to express it. And the other thing that a lot of people become a little bit confused about is that the specifics of what it is versus the generic thing that you want. So a lot of people that I've worked with over the decades, they've said, well, I want to be happy. Happy. I want good health. I want a good relationship. I want I want to feel secure. Well, they're lovely words, but how can you measure that? Because when you get the wish that you're looking for, when you get what you're asking for from the universe, when you're the co-creators of all this, and we talked a little bit about that, then how can you measure knowing that you have it? So for me, it looks like an Audi. It's got an Audi badge on it. It's from an Audi shop, and it's got all the components of an Audi. I know it's an Audi. So that is measurable. So if you're after happiness, how do you measure happiness? You could measure it at feeling, how can you measure happiness? Happiness, it's gone blank. Okay, what would I say instead of happiness? Let's say happiness to you, or happiness to me, let's bring it back on me. Happiness to me is being able to have 3 holidays in 1 year. Now that's measurable. Happiness to me may be seeing my grandchildren once a week. That's measurable. Or let's say 4 times a month. Happiness to me may be connecting to my children in Canada and Australia once or twice a month. That's measurable. That's what makes me happy. But what is it that makes you happy? Happiness is a generic thing. You can be happy at any stage. You don't need the law of attraction to bring that to you. But what is it that will make you happy that you would like in your life? If you're going to measure happiness or security, let's say one of them is feeling secure. What is security? It could be having your name on your own home. See, I rent a home, so we don't have real estate security there. So for me, it may be owning my own home or being in cooperation with the bank with my own home. That's measurable. It may be that if I had $10,000 in the bank that I didn't need to use for monthly expenses, and that is just in case, if you like, for a rainy day, then that's measurable. If it is to me having good health, what is good health? What's wrong with your health that you want good health? Because those who have good health never think of good health. So for me, what's measurable is getting 2 knee replacements. That'd make me very happy because I'd be able to walk, I'd be able to lose more weight, I'd be able to be more exercising. I can't do anything like that at the moment. The pain is too bad. That is measurable. So what is it that I want? So I might want, because don't start on the big things. Like I want a 3-story mansion at the beach in Auckland. That's not going to happen because we're going to talk about belief systems in another video because my belief doesn't go there at this point. So what is it that you want? So if for me, one of the things that I'm working on that is measurable is 2 knee replacements. Now, can you ask for specifics? You better believe you can, because that's all there is. There is only specifics. The universe doesn't work with possibilities or, maybe should be, would be, could be. No, no, no. Tell the universe what you want. Ask. Children ask. Dad, I want this for Christmas. Mum, I want an ice cream. More than likely they'll say yes. Sometimes they say no. But most kids don't go, oh, God, I can't ask that because, it's like winter and, Mum might let me ask. No, they go, I want an ice cream. That goes into the next one of expecting. Brilliant. Kids have got it. And they mainly manifest everything they want. Mainly, not all of it. So what is it that you want? What are you going to ask for? And how are you going to ask it? So the answers are, be really specific. Think long and hard about one of the things that you want to manifest. Don't try and manifest 6, 7 things at once. 1 or 2 only. And certainly if this is your first time deliberate manifesting, just choose one thing, because you're going to spend energy on visualizing and all sorts of things in there. So be very specific, make it measurable. And there is a saying, make it out of sight. Make it out of sight, not out of realms of possibility. Make it out of sight. So don't get the big things just yet. Practice. When you get more and more, you build it up and you build it up and you ask for the bigger, better, greater things. Hopefully that makes sense. How do I ask is part of, I've actually got notes. I have to tell you this. I don't think I've ever done this before. Notes. How do I ask? Well, if your child or your niece or nephew or cousin or whoever, when they ask you something, how do they ask you? That they don't go, oh, I was really thinking about, what, I really like, and, do you think it might be possible? I know it might not, but what do you think? No. They sit up and they go, you know what I want? I want an ice cream. I want a chocolate. I want it in a cone on a stick. And I want you to get it for me. I've got no money, so you're paying. And I'd like it right now. They ask. So how do you ask? You ask with a tone of voice that leaves no room for doubt. Doubt is fear, and that will kill the asking. So how would I ask? I said to Dennis, I don't know that I actually sat down and worked out. I said, Den, I really love Audi convertibles and I'm going to drive one day. I don't know how yet, but I do know I am. I just absolutely love them. I find them very safe for me. I find them that keep me safe and you can look after them. And I just think they're the most beautiful car. We can have the hood down, the hood up, and that's what I'm getting. I'll tell you the story of the Audi. When Dennis had gone to Perth to be in the mines, and he started the mines, and I was going over to meet him. I was in New Plymouth, in New Zealand at the time, and I knew that I had to buy a car when I got over there. And so I had in my mind that I was going to get an Audi, and I really wanted an Audi, but there wasn't an Audi. And so I got a Saab convertible. It was in a really good price range for me. It's the money I had. It's in good condition. Dennis came and had a look at it, and it was forest green. The colour didn't matter. It was a convertible, and it was a Saab. And people go, oh, I thought you wanted an Audi convertible. And I go, hey, this is my practice car. I'm practicing on the Saudi until I get my Audi, and the Saab until I get my Audi. That's what I say to them. I'm practicing with the Saab until I get my Audi. I needed a car. I wasn't going to wait. I had things that had to happen. The universe had to, and everything, planets had to align. And so then what happened was a couple of years later, Dennis is no longer in the mines. We're back in Melbourne. And I brought the car back with me, and our daughter was out driving one day in the Saab, and the motor caught on fire, and you don't go beyond that. So we brought it home, and it was very sad because I loved that. I loved that car. It was a beautiful car. That was my practice Audi. And so it was about a week later, Dennis had received a bit of money from an inheritance, and he said, oh, Barb, he said, come and have a look at this. I found our Audi. I said, what Audi? What do you mean? He said, you've always wanted your Audi. I said, yeah. So we haven't got the Saab. You know, you practice for the Audi. And that was the Friday night. And on the Wednesday, I picked up the Audi convertible. A lot of things and steps had to go into play in the middle before I got her, and it was a very good price. And we brought it over to New Zealand. Unfortunately, we went down to a place called Oamaru for a holiday. While we were down there, Dennis had an accident in the car. We were able to drive it back, but she was the whole passenger side was smashed in. And very long, short story. We were going to replace the panels. I'd been saving the money and doing extra work and all sorts of things. And he found an Audi, believe it or not, in Wellington for $600. And it had something wrong with the motor. Remember, mechanic. And so we bought it up, and a silver Audi. And we were going to replace the panels and everything into Miss Betty Blue, which is what I call my Audi. And until I saw the number plate, which was BJP, whatever the numbers are, and I knew that the universe was talking to me. My actual birth name is Barbara Jean Fair, BJP. I thought the universe was telling me that we needed to do this car up and not and let the other one go, Miss Betty Blue. And so that's what we did. And we now have her, and we'll have her until we don't. And so because I wasn't concerned that the car that I got was a Saab. I wasn't concerned because I knew that wasn't the end of the story. That was only part of the story to get me to the end. And sometimes if you're asking for the perfect job or whatever, you may have to go to this step to go to that step. But you still keep your vision going. You still keep your visualization, your needs, your wants. It's not a substitute. It was a step two. And that's what I had to ask, had to understand. So look for signs, things like that. So that's how you ask. That's my video for now. And I will catch you in the next video, which is expect and believe. So until then, catch you later. Bye.